But one topic we continue to look at here on Sky News Business, and the question I guess many economists and retailers alike are looking at, is how retailers really need to be adjusting to changing consumer habits. This new consumer, perhaps, that we've got on our hands. Well, a new global report by IBM reveals technology is key to all of this. But technology isn't just an important way to sell things to shoppers. It's becoming a vital way to provide consumers with good customer service. IBM surveyed more than 30,000 consumers in 13 countries, but that included more than 2,200 consumers here in Australia. We're joined by Ian Wong from IBM, Retail and Consumer Products Industry Lead for Australia and New Zealand. He comes to us live from Melbourne. Ian, good morning to you. There were some key findings about some of the emerging consumer trends. What specifically have you witnessed in this Australian market?
Well, some of the trends that we have seen in the Australian market are, well, in addition to technology, we also asked the consumers around their attitudes. And an interesting thing that came out was I guess we're not seeing a correlation between customer sentiment and also spending habits. So that's very much the first thing. What do I mean by that? So customer sentiment, most Australians were optimistic. So 70% of Australians were optimistic around their earning power over the next year or so. However, we saw 70% of Australians at the same time are saying they're cutting back spending. Now, what does that mean in terms of the way that they're using technology? What we're finding is they're using technology in such a way to find sales and to find ways to get merchandise for lower prices. They become empowered by technology.
So in terms of some of those, the trends that you've seen with the consumer and those changed spending habits that you mentioned, are you getting indications of how permanent that trend is? I guess that's a big question for our economy here in Australia, but specifically for the retailers. Have consumers given up for good some of the spending habits of before the GFC?
Yeah, and that's a good point. We've actually tracked this a couple of years, and we've been comparing this to the global figures. The global economy hasn't had I guess, the advantage of the stimulus package over the past 2 years that we have seen in the Australian market. And we have seen a reset of the frugality overseas, and we're seeing that starting to come onto our shores in terms of frugality. We haven't seen an uptick in terms of consumer spending overseas, and I think this is very much the new normal, the new frugality for the consumers.
What are the implications for consumers? Because I read one of the findings out of your surveys that consumers expect discounts, they expect trial offers, they expect access to exclusive content. Not only that, they want all of that delivered in a way that's, quote, fun, fast and interactive. This is a hugely demanding consumer that retailers face.
Yes, they are extremely demanding, and that is very much one of the findings of the study was that consumers have access to technologies. And when I talk about technologies, they have access to various channels of technology. So they're using the web, they're using mobile technologies, even kiosks in stores, and we will soon see digital TV, interactive digital TV. So they have access to all that technology. And through that access to technology, there's a phenomenon which I call crowdsourcing intelligence. They're speaking to each other through social media. They're researching retailers both locally and globally. And that has made them empowered, right? So they now have more information and they are more demanding of the retailers. To address that, the retailers themselves have to become smarter. They need to change the way that they are doing business, and that's basically by using technology themselves to target and personalize the way they're putting offers to customers on a personal level.
It's a big challenge for them, and as I said, this is a key question for our economy more broadly. So thank you so much, Ian Wong. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.